The goal was set to calculate a generator for one house, so it generates 6 to 8 kilowatts, not more. I certainly can make larger diameter and widen the generator, and of course, it'll work. It would be self-sustained. This will work for sure. They say Houdini has already done this. Italian-American. So this is the most important question, why you didn't. After all, this is because I just did not have enough time. Firstly, this is the first motor generator. The very first. I only had time to patent generator and began to build it at once. Now I know. I tested it on a motorcycle, where in front, wheel generator, and in the rear, wheel motor. I drove it 300 kilometers, 186 miles, and could still ride more. These tests have shown that it is possible. They're due to the inertia of rolling, and I get this energy return. But here, sorry. Due to the fact that the generator frequency is greater at about 10 to 12 times than the frequency of the motor. So the generator running at 700 or even 800 Hz, it's pretty high frequency. The motor 35 to 40 at most, as in the grid 50 Hz. You know, DC motor, I showed it to you. It's a new type of engine. The asymmetric pulse motor, which is not afraid of any loads. Even if attempt to stop it. That we did in the lab of electromechanical devices and automation of MPEI, Moscow Power Engineering Institute. It develops an insane torque. 60 Newton meters up there. Only 500 to 300 watt motor develops around 46 to 58 Newton meters. This is a very high torque. Correct. But you do not take into account this factor. Back then the French Academy of Sciences did not know about the future achievements of materials science. Now rare earth magnets are 10 times exceed the magnetization and the coercive force of materials. They knew then. They had barium ferrite, strontium ferrite. This is a low magnetization. I even tried to imagine that time in 1903, when the Porsche gave to Berlin Institute of Technology, a museum, his automobile with the electric motor wheels. In 1903, I immediately contacted director of Magneton. He's my pal. We served together in Germany. I said, "Dear Vlad, can you make magnets of 1903? He says, "But I'm afraid that we are still making them now." And he brought it to me to Moscow. In the portfolio, batch of magnets, barium ferrite, which goes on the soap boxes, chests, fridges, etc. And I, knowing that in 1903 existed steel 3, really, even before. So I'm making from steel 3 the electromagnets, and from these ferrites, the magnetic part. I'll show it to you now. Here it is. This motor, it weighs, however, a lot. And I do not envy Porsche. While then weight of each motor was 150 kilograms. Well, this weighs 29 to 30. Here barium ferrite. Now look, well, is it a magnet? I'm fastening them. From steel 3 making electromagnets. Look, center lines coincide, and do not coincide, like a 2-piston engine. So you know, we put it. Firstly, we also multiplied by 4. Here is 150 kilograms. It's 600 kilograms, only motors. And he had 12.5 thousand kilogram electric vehicle. So if I was born in those years, in the late 19th century, and built by my idea those 4 motors, the electric car would not weigh 12.5 but somewhere 2.53 tons, max. Speed would be not 30 kilometers per hour, like Porsche had, but somewhere 65 to 70 by our tests of this motor. So the idea of coherence, multiplicity, it would have prevailed at the beginning of the century. And magnets themselves will not degrade in this engine. There are theories how magnets losing strength magnetic properties. Well, the plants give a warranty of 10 years. After 10 years I taking off an inductor. It's literally a minute. I put this device. And in 7 seconds with powerful capacitor unit I'm magnetizing them. Understand? Especially those magnets as samarium, cobalt, iron. They hold a lot. 90 years. Half Tesla. And you can always repeat it in 10 years. And then one more thing. Here you go through maintenance of combustion engine. You have to literally every 10,000 kilometers to change oil, spark plugs, etc. Here, we have run it for 16 years. Nothing changed. Well, if bearings fail, they must be replaced. Because of 5 units here, simply nothing to break. I showed it to you. Thank you very much. Your phone numbers can be shown in the internet. They already there. Of course. This is not about the money, but time. Once previous sponsors started buy-sell policy, they literally stood behind my back. Man, here's the money, here's all. Give us the bike. They gone. Snatch. Stuck money in the pockets, and I literally did not have enough time. Literally no period to distract. So I can calmly build generator. That's now 9 months I was out of job. Well, goodness, I have enough money. I'm alright. I can live without any job. And this motor I made just because I was left without a sponsor, without a team, and now I can put team together anew. And during this time, it was such a break. I put together a cool engine for a quadricycle. Speed motor assembled for the bike, you rode it, and finally, the motor generator. That's what I included now in the program of my future work with LLC Ecomotor. Once these issues were agreed and entered into an agreement, that provides time for creativity. That's the job I was doing all these years, 36 years. Almost everyday work from 1975 to the present day. Enrolled in after-graduate studies, immediately began to work on the technical variance units. And now the guys stepping in, and thank God, I have taught 2 guys, they build motors themselves. I revealed to them know-how, now they come to sign the protocol of confidentiality. And back to work, comrades. Therefore, it's self-sustained, initial start device. For now we using solar, small, in order to equalize, but we not far from it. It will be made very soon. Very. We'll enforce this generator, will make engine more flexible. Now, 1 second, it's 2 piston. So the 2 phases, this error we'll also correct. It is necessary to do at least 3 pistons. I made 2, been greedy, there are only 2 running solenoids here. That's why it runs off from center line, but 3 would now go smoothly. But this is the clue why it does not work out on this self-loop. It will be necessary to make it smooth, flexible. Look, I have to turn it on without PWM like that. 24 volts. In idle mode it shows more than 1 to 2 amps. I begin to break it, as if I had turned on the generator, because one, similar to this engine, mounted in that common housing. Currents typically 10, 20, 30 amps, and here well, more than 10 to 11 and there, it show us 10 amps. Right, rubber already started to burn. Torque, crazy. It's possible to measure torque. Yes, this is what they are doing. At MPEI, Moscow Power Engineering Institute. We brought the motors with our engineer. Whole month testing. There is expert conclusion. Very well written. So, are we looking at the perpetual motion? Is this an element of what everyone is looking for? Dream to have in every house. Yes. That's an element. Well, basically I can tell you that tests have shown. We measured separately Newton meters of motors in MPEI. And now calculated, there is a mathematical model that we worked out well. Which proves that if competently, with the good parts, not the junk parts we found on dumpsters, make motor and generator separately, there is no need to compensate for this missing 1 amp. 1 amp is nothing. Is a sensation, yeah. Then we can make a really self-sustained motor generator that will give light, electricity to homes, greenhouses, etc. To consumers, virtually we do not need wind, solar energy or gasoline to run a combustion engine to spin a generator.
Хорошее решение вопроса, потому что где-то вообще нет ветра, где-то нет солнца.
Не надо объяснять, у нас вся цивилизация построена на энергии. Василий
Basically, that explains everything.
We're looking further because the future actually is here. The future of not only Russia, also the future of the human civilization.
Yes, I shot it. Anyone who interested can hit the pause and read it. On my website, I reply to all the letters. We're here guys from Sweden, entrepreneurs. Our former Soviet. They organize, they're a good enterprise. They produce a tiny cars. On gasoline. Now we will send you the lot. I say, well, thank you a lot. And I will with a chisel and hammer assemble this whole lot. Right, so here we have such a correspondence and conversations. You know, people, the majority, do not understand that it is necessary to invest first, not just came, saw, conquer.